Hello everyone. Today we are going to complete this project. As you may remember, in our last build we created this entire page scenario. As you see, it's fully responsive and we completed all the parameters to just complete how it can work. So our pending scenario was that to create that article and also this right hand side, and also for the projects, articles, speaking, uses and about. So all those cases we're gonna go through by today, and especially because we are using the MDX and we will create this entire things from the scratch. So stay with me. Now if you are new on this video, feel free to roll back to our previous video where I actually start from the beginning. The link, it will be in the description, and also if you are not willing to go there, you can start from here. And how you can do that, there will be one repository GitHub repo link in the description below. So here is this the main. So in the main branch you have this starter file by which you can start, but if you change the branch, if you go to the part 1, you will find all the necessary items available for the part 1. So also for today's build, it's gonna be injected on part 2, so it depends on you. Now what we are going to do, we're gonna finish that build, then we're gonna make it live. We will use the vercel to make the deployment. So stay tuned. As you see, I already started running it from my localhost 3000, and it will be just a little bit description about how actually things are happening. So now we're going to build this part from where actually we're gonna show the article, we're gonna show the newsletter, resume and all other portion. And to start with, as you may remember, this is the fundamental place where actually we're starting building for the pages. This is our home page, and here I will just take a container which I'm going to import from my container. As you may remember, we have that container and other parameters here. So now in that container below here, I will just make that some class name, and that class name, the empty going to be 24 and md empty going to be 28. Okay, what's wrong with here? Let's go back to the container, and here I will just pass, oh okay, we need to pass the children, so it doesn't matter, I will just pass a p tag, so it will be test. So now it is started, so I'll close that. Let's go back here. You see the test is available. So in this test, this should be applicable. One will be in the right side, one will be in the left side. So now to actually get things done here, what I will do, I will take a particular, instead of that p tag, I will take a div, and here in that div there will be two more div available. Okay, so these two div will be responsible to create the scenario. One will be for the article and another it will be for the resume. So these two parameters are going to be eradicated here, as you see. So now we're gonna just put some class name here to make it looks nice and cool. So it will be in that div, the class name, we'll just make that max width, it will be Excel, and mx it will be auto. Oops, it will be auto, mx auto, which gonna be keep things in the middle, and I will make it a grid, and also it will be by default it will be grid calls 1, and whenever, so I think, okay, I'm gonna give a gap of y, it will be 20. Oops, it will be a gap of y 20 vertical gap, and then lg, whenever it's hitting in the lg screen, max width going to be none, so it will take the full width of the devices, and lg, the grid, it gonna be calls of 2. Okay, so now let's see how actually those things look. Okay, as you see, so this portion going to be the similar pattern on that, so I think that's gonna make sense. So first thing first, let's gonna create that right part, then I will go with the article part, because the article going to be combined also with that page supplementary of article, so I will go at the end of that. So now in that div, I'm gonna take one more parameter. So let's go back to the components, where I will take a new file which going to be newsletter.tsx. Let's create that, rafce. Now this newsletter we are going to inject here, so it will be news, okay, newsletter. Okay, now if we roll back on the newsletter, you see the newsletter is available. So now we need to start working on that newsletter. In the newsletter, we have just one stay up to date text, notify text, and if the join text, so it's going to be, you need to put something, then it will work. Okay, so to get that one, let me just go in that newsletter file. Now here, instead of that div, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a from tag. So okay, from. Now this from, the action going to be thank you. Now you can take any action, and also I will take an h2 tag, which going to say is that that h2 tag, it will after that h2 tag, I will take one span tag. In this span tag, it will say stay up to date. Okay, so that's is the scenario right now. Okay, stay up to date. Now here in the from text, let's just before okay, let's go in the from. So I will put some class name on the from. It will be rounded, going to be 2 axle. Okay, and the border, it will be there, and border zinc, it will be 100. Okay, and padding going to be 6. Then whenever we are hitting in the dark, because we have the dark and light theme combination, we need to provide that one. So zinc going to be 700, and also not only the 700 but 40% of opacity. Okay, so you will not see that much on that. You see, that's so this the parameter, oops, it's just going to bad. This the parameter is going to be aligned. I think well, I giving that. Okay, that looks cool. Okay, so we provided okay, let's just go there. It not looks the way it's supposed to be. Okay, okay, we'll go on that. So first thing first, let's also go in that h2, put a class name, flex, and the text going to be small text, and also font going to be a semi bold, and then text going to be zinc of 900, and dark dark text will be zinc of 100. Okay, and after that we also need to put a parameter here in the span tag. So it will be class name, margin left, we will put a 3, because we are going to put an icon here, which going to be IOMD mail icon, or mail unread. Yeah, that's the icon. And for the icon, put a class name. I'll just put a height of 6, or I will just make that text of Excel. Okay, let's see if it's available. Okay, that things is available right now. And I think because it's not looking the way it's supposed to be, because of some of the parameter here, you see the zinc, so that's the way actually is happening. So it will only be the border zinc, so these 2 parameter, it will just be aligned on that. Okay, so it's almost the same it's supposed to be. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, after that h2 tag, we're gonna take a p tag, and the p tag, we're gonna say get notified when I publish something something new, and unsubscribe at any time. Okay, so that's the message going to be passing here. Now in this, also in this parameter, I'll put a class name, which is going to be a margin top of 2, and text going to be small text, and font going to be semi bold, and text going to be let's put or I think it's normal font is okay. So the text I'm gonna make just a zinc of 600, and then dark text going to be okay, dark text going to be zinc of 400. Okay, so that looks a bit of cool. Okay, now the thing is which going to appear is that this portion, 1 input and 1 button. Okay, so after that p tag, I will take a div, and in that div also I will take 1 input field, and after the input field I will take my button here. So remember, we already have a button. I think so. Did we create any button? No. Okay, we didn't create any button here. So So let me just create one button component here. So it will be button.tsx rafce. Okay, so here actually what I'm gonna do, because it's the pretty much similar beforehand, because the two scenario will be there, so I will just inject the button component here. Okay, just to go in a little bit in a quicker way. So actually what I did here is that creating two types of button. One is the primary, one is the secondary. That's the class name I'm providing for the primary, and the class name I'm providing for the secondary button. And this is also effective because I'm putting that dark and light theme on that. So now here is the button props is coming, which is going to be primary. By default the variant is primary. If you want to put any primary, any variant, you need to just specify that. So this is the button, and this button is also like, if there is no href, we are going to provide that just a normal button. If there is a link available, this button going to be appear. So just remember, it's just simple as it is. And also you can pass any class name, any props if you willing to provide. So don't worry about it. It's the simple class name, simple procedures we are providing to create that button component. Feel free to create that as your own. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just import that button here in my newsletter. So it will be button and import from the button, and in the button I will type the text of join. If we just save that one, let's see what actually going to happen. So did we see any button? Yeah, you see one button is available. So now we will specify what kind of things it gonna be do. So the type going to be submit, and also the class name will provide that margin left of 4 and flex none. So it will not take any action for the flags, and it will be margin left from 4. So now this the div, we're gonna work a little bit on that. Class name margin top up 6, and I'll just keep it as a flex. So okay, that's it. So now what I'm gonna do, I need to eradicate this one from here to there. So let's go, we'll just jump on the input. So the input, it will not, type should not be text, it should be email, and then placeholder we will type that email address, and also we will pass that area level, which are going to be email address. Okay, and then it's time to provide, and of course the email should be required. Then I will put the class name. So it will be taking a bunch of class name to make it looks in a pretty better way. So stay tuned, I'm going to provide all the class name, you just need to follow through. So min width, so minimum width going to be 0, that's the min width. So flex, it's going to be auto, appearance will be none, rounded MD. Okay, and then border, and the border going to be zinc of 900. Okay, zinc of my bad, should be border zinc of 900, and 10% of opacity. Background color will be white, padding x-axis going to be 3, and now we're gonna calculate on that padding y-axis vertically. So we will put that, and also we will pass with the theme, and then we're gonna pass with that spacing. Okay, that spacing going to be 0.2, and also it will just go from there -1 pixel. Okay, oops, it will be pixel, and it will be 2. Okay, nothing much changes, it will appear right now, but you know, it's changing still, we are working on it. Okay, so now here what we are going to do is that shadow should be MD, so medium shadow, and then it will be a shadow zinc of 800, and of course we're going to provide a 5% of opacity, and placeholder text going to be zinc of 400. So placeholder zinc of 400, and whenever we're gonna focus, and the border it's going to be till of 500. So that's the color we're gonna provide. So whenever we are focusing on that, I think it should appear, maybe it's just taking a bit of time. Okay, we'll just combining with other things. So the border it's gonna be till 500, and whenever we're gonna focus, it will be focus, and whenever we are going to focus, this outline going to be none. Okay, so now this the normal bunch of text we are providing here. So that's why what I love to do is that you feel free to go combine with all the parameters of the class name, because we are going to work with the functionality also. If I just elaborate one by one, it will take a bit of time. So that's the class names we are providing to make this a paradigm to really to be look like that. So if we click here, as you see, so if we just make that test at gmail.com or something, so you just need to pass your message to wherever, because now we don't have any like where actually we're going to redirect, we don't have that. So it depends on you. If you want to create something, you can build. So with that, my design actually is going to be done. So now we need to create the other part, or before going to other part, I think it's done. Okay, so the newsletter part is done. Let's go back to our page. So here we will also put some class name on that. Put some class name. It will be space in Y, and vertical space is gonna be 10, and LG padding left going to be 16. Okay, Excel padding left going to be 24. Okay, so after that portion, we need to create. You see, now it looks a little bit better. So this portion going to take a much more simple pace. So now we need to create one more paradigm, which is actually for the resume. So we will create the resume section. So in the resume, what we have our work title, then where actually we work. We are actually, I'm going to create the simplest way what the Tailwind did in the Spotlight theme, because now again I am telling you that if you want to change the subsidiary, if you change your own text, you can do the way you want, because I'm just showing you how it can be done. That's it. So I'm just following their things and I'm just putting it there. I'm not wasting time to just collecting and thinking what I'm gonna put, because it's not my professional project. It's just to show you how those things can be done. Okay, so now you can do it as the way you prefer. So now what I will do, I will just go back to, I'll create one more file, which in the components actually it will be resume.tsx rfce to create that functional component from the React. Okay, so now here I'm gonna pass that resume. Okay, so from this portion of that things where actually I have nothing, I am going to eradicate and keep everything like that. So to create that one, let's just go oops, I just created, click on somewhere. Okay, so to create that one, let's roll back to the resume. So what I'm gonna do, actually I'm gonna put an array. Okay, I'm gonna put an array of resume section. So this will be my all the resume parameter where actually the resume things is happening. Okay, we will just get the logo, of course. So this the logo, it's going to be the logo I have in my okay, I think I have there. Okay, that's the logo I'm keeping in the source folder, and the source folder on the image, as you see, that's the logos I have for the Airbnb or other on the Cosmos and other things. So those are the logos which actually you are seeing here. Okay, so now let's go start building. Okay, so now what I'm actually showing here, that is a resume. We're giving a company, we're giving the title, we're giving the logo, and start date, end date, and also a calculation is here, you see. So that's the things actually is happening. 1 2 3 4. So 4 resume should be there. 1 2 3 4. So that's the 4. So now of course I'm also putting an array of the role to interfacing with that, what kind of things it's going to be. So what I'm gonna do in the top layer, I'm gonna pass that interface. So the interface, it's gonna be role. So that role, now I'm gonna pass the company, which going to be string. So in that way there will be, I think, the 5 props. So these are the props it will be available. One is for the company, one is for the title, one is for the logo, one is for the start, and one is for the end. Now these image props, okay, which I'm going to be getting from the source. So what I'm gonna do to getting from that nextjs, I'm gonna pass that import. First I'm gonna take the image from the next image, and then I'm gonna also pass the type, which is actually image props. that's it. So of course it's my bad, it should be role, role. Okay, so now this is the role I have. Okay, so now this is the role, and here actually I'm having my resume array. So now I will be able to map through this array to get the things done. So let's go first in the resume section. So this is my first div, and here I'm gonna take an h2 tag, and inside that h2 tag I will just pass a span tag. Remember the way we did before, so it will just store the same parameter. And here I'm gonna get that for briefcase icon. Okay, so that icon also I'm gonna make that class name, text will be Excel. Okay, so let's see if we get anything there. Okay, so we have the icon and we have the text. So first thing first, let's go in the top level for the class name. Rounded going to be to Excel, and we're gonna put a border, and border going to be zinc of 100. Okay, border zinc of 100, padding going to be 6, and dark border going to be zinc. Okay, zinc of 700 with 40% of the opacity. Of course it will be, we are missing the R, so dark. Okay, and then if we just go back here, okay, that looks nice. And also in that h2 tag put some class name, which going to be flex, text going to be small text. You can copy the other one which we have been done, it will be similar, and text zinc of 900, and dark text zinc of 100. Okay, and also this one, class name margin left of 3. Okay, so I think this parameter is going to be all right. Okay, so now it's time to pull those things up. Okay, so in that, after that h2 tag, we'll take an order list, and inside the order list we will just put that resume dot map. Okay, so you'll map through it. First we're gonna take the role, and then we're gonna take that role index. Okay, oops, it will be in index. Okay, so now we are going to return, I'm just returning a p tag that will say that hello, just to see if actually working or not. I just save, and if everything working perfectly, it should just, you see I have that 4 things, so that's the 4 should be appearing here. So before going to in a further level, what I'm gonna do, put a class name, and empty going to be 6, and space going to be y of 4. So vertical space I'm providing, so it will take a bit of lengthy space. Okay, so now to create those paradism, what I'm gonna do, instead of doing here or in any other component, we're gonna just write a function here which going to be const. We are going to be just create a function which is actually called role, and here it will be an arrow function where actually we're gonna return, okay, we're gonna return a li. Okay, so inside that li, now here is the tricky things. It can be, you can do it in your own fashion, but I will do it in a simple way. Okay, so I'll just put something hello. Okay, this is the role. Okay, just to show actually if role is implying or not. So instead of that p tag, I will just remove that p tag, I will put that role. Okay, so that's the role, because it's in the same file, no need to import. So the key should be role index. Okay, and also role should be role, so I'm passing that role to go in the top level. So if I just come back here, we should be able to see this is the role. Okay, so now that things is done. So let's go back to the role. We need to do a bunch of work here in the role. So now in the role, I will take the role, and also I need to give a type. So the role type, it should be the type of role. Remember, we're putting the type here, so that now you can actually move those files in other file and you can do it as you prefer, but for go in the simplest way, I'm just keep it in that simple level. So now in that L, so the list format, what I'm gonna do, put inside that list, I'm gonna take a div, and inside that div I'm gonna take an image. Okay, so in the image, I'm going to provide a source which going to be role dot, oops, it will be role dot, what's happening, it should be role dot logo. Okay, that's my image will be there, and alter, oops, it will be alt tag, it will be role image. And also for the class name, height going to be 7, width going to be 7. Okay, and I don't want my nextjs to optimize that image, so it will be unoptimized. Okay, because the image is in my same file and I know where actually is lying. I don't need to optimize that. So that's the image. Also, this image you see, there's a circle around. We need to create that one. To implement that one, you see in the div we took, so put a div on that. It will be relative. Okay, okay, just put a relative, and margin top it will be 1, and flex h10, and height going to be 10, and it will be by also it gonna be flex none. Okay, okay, width 10, height 10, so need to provide width. Okay, width and height going to be 10. And then item center, and justify center rounded full, and shadow md. Okay, and shadow of zinc of 800 by 5% of opacity. Ring going to be 1. Okay, and then ring going to be 900 with 5% of opacity. And then dark, we're gonna pass that border of, okay, dark border, and whenever you're gonna dark, it's going to be the border of zinc of 700, and of course it's a 700 but 50% of opacity. And dark bj going to be zinc of 800. Okay, and then dark ring should be 0. So that's for the image paradigm. You see, it looks better if we go in the light theme. You see, okay, that's cool. So now we have been done that. Also, I'm gonna put an li, so the list item, put a class name, flex, the gap going to be 4. Okay, so after that particular level of div, let's put an data level. So here we're gonna put the data, and that first it's gonna take as the name of company. Okay, and the second layer for the data description, it's gonna be for that role company. So one is for the role of the company, another for the okay, so if we go back here, actually we are going to create this portion and then this portion. Okay, see, now in that DL, put some class name, it's gonna be flex going to be auto, and also I'm gonna wrap that flex. Okay, and the gap in x-axis going to be 2. Now for this data, it will be just answer only. Okay, and now also for that data description, put some class name, with going to be full, and flex going to be none, and text going to be sm, and font going to be medium, text going to be zinc of 900. Okay, and dark text going to be zinc of 100. Okay, so that's the role company. Okay, okay, that's nice. So we have the role company, so we need to just get the position right now. Okay, so the company, cool. Okay, so now here again the data title, so the title is going to be role, and also description is going to be role.title. So that's the role going to be happening, and again class name answer only. Okay, and that answer only is means only for the screen reader, because whenever you are doing that SEO, it also giving a mark on that. So don't worry about that if you are having a, even if you're not understanding it properly. So that class name we're gonna put on that text going to be extra small or XS, and then text going to be zinc of 500. Okay, not 50 but 500, and dark text of zinc, okay, it should be dark text of zinc 500. Okay, Okay, so I think okay, it's not the 500. For the dark, I'll keep it 4. Okay, so now I have these two. So the last one, it's gonna be for that, it's going to be for the date and the D. So now for the date, I'm gonna create some label. So you see that's the portion is okay. So for this one, I'll create some label for to take the date properly. So I'm gonna just put that start label is equal to type of role dot start, which is the start timing, and is equal to string. If there is equal, if it's equal to string, then role dot start, and or if there is a timing, then role dot start dot label. So if we are providing a label, it's gonna take the label. Otherwise, it's gonna take just for the string parameter. So list start date. So that date also going to be passed that I think type of role dot start is equal to string. Then it's gonna to take that role dot start. Otherwise, it's gonna take that role dot start dot date time. Okay, that is actually happening because you see in our role we are providing a bunch of date. You see we have a string formulation, and also we can actually passing some valid date. It depends on you. For right now, I'm just keeping it as a string. So now, of course, my first argument going to be all right because I am passing that as a string. Okay, so now let int label, just to modify that, type of role dot end if is also equal to string. Or what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just pass that both of the things for the int label and for the indet. So that's the parameter. I have my all the label. So now I need to inject those label on that data description here. So how actually we're gonna pass that? So I will take a time. Oops, it will be okay. Time, and in the time, what I'm gonna do to pass is that start date. Okay. So start date. Oops, this is my not the start date. It should be start label. Okay, so it will be start label, and in the in the time period regime, what actually we are going to keep is that date time. Okay, date time we will pass also that inside a variable which is going to be start date, going to be the date time for that a time parameter, and then again we are going to put a gap, and after the gap we will pass an span tag to just put that a dash mark. Okay, so area hidden, area hidden, it will be for sure it's gonna be true. Okay, and then again we're gonna take another time, and this time we're gonna pass that int label, and for that date time it should be the indet. Yeah, indet. Okay, so if we are good, then we're gonna see something available. You see date is available here, so that's actually the parameter we are providing. But you see we are actually seeing the date because we didn't put that SR only, screen reader only. So it will be the class name, it's going to be SR only. Okay, so in that description put some class name, margin left going to be auto, text going to be access extra small, and the text going to be zinc of 400, and whenever we are dark, text going to be zinc of 500. Okay, I think we are good to go. If we go back here, you see, wow, that's fantastic. So now we have been created this portion. So we have this one. Now we need to create that button which is going to be available at the below of that. So now let's go back to the below of that role, not the role, for the OL or the list. Now here we're gonna pass that button. Of course we need to import that button from the button. Now in the button we will put that download CV. Okay, that's it. Now for right now, because I'm not providing my CV here, you feel free to just pass the link wherever you want. So the variant is going to be secondary variant. That's why we created the variant. Now we can actually also pass the class name. So it will be group margin top going to be 6, and it will take the full weight. Okay, so after that also we need to pass one icon here, which going to be indicated there. We have that download CV. Now it's time to pass the icon. So it will be bs arrow down. Okay, that should be the icon. Let's put some class name. Now I will put I can also prefer that with width and height instead of the text lg or something. Stroke, okay, I don't want to take much of a bit of time with just one icon here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just indicate the class name here. Height 4, width 4, stroke zinc 400 transition is happening. So that's the similar shape of class name. Okay, as you see. Okay, that looks cool. If we click, it will take top because we didn't set up anything. So now we are having this left and right combination part here. So it's time to create the other part, which is going to be the special one, which is for the article. And to combine that article part, let's go back to the page and I will just close all others. So here actually article portion going to be available. So first put some class name on that article, which is going to be again flex. It will be just flex in column section, and the gap going to be 16. So now to get the article, first we need to create the article. Remember, we are going to use that MDX. So those portions, it will be written somewhere in our file. So we need to create those files, and with the Slack, we're going to redirect them to there. So to do so, we are going to create something which are going to be, let's go back to our folder structure. Now here, what I'm going to do in the source, okay, that's the app and this the source. I will take one more folder, which going to be the lib folder. So inside that lib folder, I will take a file, which is what's the name we are going to provide on that. So it will be just give it a name of article. Maybe it will be looks good. Okay, in the lib I will take a file name article. Okay, .ts. Okay, now here we will just going to put that import. We will use that globe, so it will be okay, we're gonna create later on. So now we will just create a function over here, so it will be assign function. Now beforehand I used so many arrow function. Now I can also use the other function which is available. So let's put that export assign function. Okay, okay, see assign function. Oops, it's my bad. See assign function, and in that function I will just pass that parameters. Okay, so now we can create that function. So now in that function we will provide something which going to be article. Oops, it will be article file name, which is going to be as a string because we're going to provide that article file name here somehow. And okay, let's go with that. So this going to be coming with an interface. So let's just first create that interface here. So oops, it will be interface, and that interface going to be article with slug, and it will be extends for article, and here we're gonna pass that slug, which is going to be as a string. So that's the slug actually we are going to be passing all over the places. So now what actually we are going to put that is, so that is our article. Okay, so now here after that string iteration, we will just put that promise, and that promise going to be reduced on that for the article with a slug. Okay, so now we will be able to go. So okay, and now I think we didn't give the name of that function, which going to be import article. So that's our function. So now here, what's happening here, we cannot find article. Of course it will not find it, because we need to also provide that article here, which we are extending here. So now we will just put that interface, which is going to be article, and in the article what's going to be there, right now I know that what it will be available, so I'm just keeping in that way. There will be a title and there will be a description, which also going to be string, and also author will be there, which is also going to be string, and date also going to be string. So this is the article we are going to provide. So now let's just see what actually we can manage to create. So now here, okay, what's wrong with that? What is saying? It's crying for something. Okay, function whose declared type is neither undefined void nor may must have any value. What we have been done, article. Okay, first we'll just focus on that letter. For right now we'll put that article. So let's article, we will just go with that await. We'll await for that, we will import that article, and from the file name we are using, so we will use the backtick, so it will just go for in the app, and then it will go back to the article folders, and from there we're gonna access our article file name. Okay, so that's the file name. Oops, it will be import. Okay, so from there we're gonna access the article file name, and after that as, so let's just do back, it will be the default. Okay, should be there. Default going to be react dot component type, because we are going to use that react component type, and article should be that article. Okay, and after passing all the parameters here, we will pass also the return value. The return value is going to be the slag, and that slag it will be article file name, and then we will replace with that. And now of course to replace on that /, okay, so this parameter, so we can actually replace with those names parameter. So I'm just gonna eradicate here those things. Okay, so that's the things we are going to replace with that. Okay, and then after doing this also, we will just pass all the article. Oops, it will be article. Okay, so now this is one of the function which actually going to give us the import article. So with that function we can import the article from that folder structure. Here you see the app, so in that app we are going to create a folder which is going to be article. So this folder going to be responsible for that. Remember, you need to give the same name. So what I love is to copy and pass it there. So in that here also I will take a file name of so this will be my oops, it will be RFCE. Okay, so article page. Okay, so from there actually I'm gonna extract the article. So this is the one which is actually going to import, but I need another file, another structure by which I will be able to get those articles. So I need to create another function which it will be give us that get article. So it will be export, again it will be also assign function, and it will be get all articles. Okay, so now in this function, so it will be let article file name. So I will okay, article I will just put as file names because there will be more than one. So I will await with that. Now here we'll use that globe. Okay, so let's just go back in the top to import that, which I'm gonna use from the first globe. It should be installed if you're using the which actually I have been provided that one. If you're using, you will find that there. So it will be await, and from there I will just pass that asterisk, so it will read those parameter and the page.mdx. So whenever it's gonna find that page.mdx, it's gonna go and grab theirs. Okay, now the directory it's going to give is that from that it will be from the source, and from the app, then articles. Okay, so now that's the article file names, and now I need to give the articles. So articles, and that articles, it will be await for all the promise, which I'm gonna passing that promise.all, and from here article file names, will provide the article file names dot map, map. Then I'm gonna pass through that import article, so in that way I can get the article from the core. And also I need to return I'll return that articles dot sort, of course you can sort that one. So we'll sort from their lower top to like A to Z. Okay, now whenever the new article comes, and it's going to be sorted as by the date, so the new one, and then also minus, now it will be new date a dot date. So in that way the updated one will be in the top always. So now that's the possible scenario to get all the articles. So of course now let's go back in the pages here, we will get the article. So what we're gonna say, let articles is equal to, remember we will going to create that async function, so let's put that async, and here we will make that as await get all articles. And right now what we are going to go is that we're gonna slice that one, because we are just going to show 4 in our home page. So if I just because still we are rendering that in the server side, so if we just make that log and put that, oops, it will be log and articles. Right now we will not be able to have any articles. Oops, it will be articles, and the log, it will be coming here. Okay, you see now our article having as empty array, because we didn't create any file structure, we didn't created any article. That's why we are having no article at all. If we create one, you can see immediately it gonna just coming here. So how actually we can create that? So let's go back here in the article structure. Now in that article I will take a file, I will put the same name as the name is happening on that scenario, which is rewriting the Cosmos kernel in Rust. So that's the article, and here I will put that article name should be, it will be index.mdx. Okay, that's the first article we are providing here. Okay, so how actually those articles can be executed here? Okay, so to make that things to work, first thing first, let's go back here. We will modify that one later on. First we're gonna create those articles so that we can see actually what's happening. Now let export const article, and that article we're gonna pass that, we're gonna pass the author. Remember we have the author, and where actually we need that, if we just click on that, remember we are passing a date, we are passing the title, and also we are validating the author here, you see. So in that way we need to show by which is written and how is the rewriting that one. So if we go back now, here you can find all a lorem. So this the rewriting the Cosmos kernel in Rust. If we go back here, you see we are having the title and we are having the date also, and then the description is available here, and yeah, that's pretty much all. So that's the way we are going to track that one and keep that one into the new line. So the article and author, I'm just going to be passing the text value here, which is going to be passing that one, it will be the author Alan Wotton, date, and the rewriting the Cosmos kernel and other things. Okay, so that's the pretty much things for the first parameter. So now after that also we can export the metadata. So metadata, and inside that metadata we can actually pass the title. So the title for the metadata, it's going to be article dot title, and also description going to be it will be article dot description. So that's the metadata we are going to passing there overall. And now what I'm gonna do, we're gonna pass an article layout, which is going to be export default. And by default, what actually is going to passing here, that article layout. So I will create one more file here, which is going to give us that article layout dot it will be layout.tsx. okay, so that's the article layouts which actually we are going to follow to create all the parameters of article we are going to forward through. So here we're gonna pass that article layout. Okay, so in the article layout, what actually we are going to do is that we will take the value from the props, and in the props we are passing that article, and that article we are passing the article of article, and also all the props is available here we're going to inject. So now what actually I'm going to do it right now is that to get the other text means, remember, whenever we go through that, we are having those all the articles. So that's the thing, that's the parameter, because it's written in MDX, so it's just the simple text. Feel free to go to the documentation for MDX and you will have a very better understanding how actually those things is written over there. So first thing first, I'm gonna just go and copy and paste the previous data I have. This is the simple data and the value is I'm just passing, so don't be freak out on that. And one more thing is should be there if I want to import. Okay, import is not giving me that, so we will put that import, and I need to import that file, which is actually we are using that article layout. So article layout, okay, I think that will be okay, article layout. Okay, article layout, and we need to import it from the components. So from at it will be, I think, / components. I think there is sometimes the problem is that it's not actually giving you the idea from where to import and where to export. That's just you need to configure that MDX file formation in your pages. Okay, so if we go back here, if we reload, of course we will not get back anything till now, or we're getting, you see. Now enter okay, import test for requested module, source app article. Okay, article namespace object, leave article ts. Okay, I think we are actually getting an error over here. Okay, namespace object. Okay, so let's go back to the article. I think we are actually missing something here. Okay, what we have missed, I just take it there. I think one can be problem is that, remember, we are putting that article, so we are making that here as article. Yeah, this can be an issue. I'll just make that at articles, and where actually we are, okay, should be articles. Yeah, so all the way it should be appearing as articles. Okay, so now here what is saying, let article await import. What actually we have been done. Okay, I think we are going to be okay. Okay, it's just be having a problem in the function here, so just let be a digging there what actually we have been done. Okay, so we are having that import article function, we are putting in a string, an article with slag, and okay, import, and we are going to back to the app and articles / article file name. Okay, as default react component, and then we are returning this portion. Okay, so what's wrong with that? Okay, so I think it's good. You see, we're having that our article's title, so in the, so everything is, I think everything working fine. So let's go back to the article layout. first we're gonna arrange that, and then if we're having an error, we're gonna fix that things. Okay, so first thing first, in the article layout, what actually we are going to eradicate is that let's just, instead of the div, we're gonna pass that a container. Okay, so on that container, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a div. Inside that, I'm gonna take another div. Remember, first what actually we're gonna do is to create those portions. If we go back here and we click, you see we are having one icon which is actually giving us to show back. So that's the thing we will create. So to implement that, let's get to our, so we need to get the previous path name. So first thing first, in here we will take that, we will take two things, article, and that one is that children. So we will pass the props for that. Article, it should be article with slack, is coming from the lib, and that, oops, it will be children, which is that react node. Okay, so that's two parameters available for there. Now we need to pass that router things, and whenever we're going to use the router, we are no longer be able to use that React server, nextjs server component. We need to make it as use client. Okay, so now here we need to define that what kind of things we are going to implement here, which is that to get the route. So let's router, and that router is going to be the use router, which is going to be import from the next route. Okay, so now not next router, we need to import that from the next navigation, otherwise it will not work. So that's the router is we are providing. So let previous path name, and that previous path name we are just going to use that youth context hook from the React, and we will use that app context. Remember, in the provider, if you just remember previously in our providers, we are using that app context to get the previous route's name. So that's the portion we are just using here. So this will give us the previous route. So now we will write a condition here. If the previous path name is available, only then we're gonna render a button. So it will be a button. Okay, we will render a button. So inside the button, we will pass an icon, which is going to be arrow left icon. Okay, BS arrow left icon. Okay, fine. So now here, we will just put some classification here so that we can actually get that. So I will just put those class names which is available for that. Okay, so that's the class names. Again, I'm combining that with predefinedly with the position of so creating that theming classification. And here we are not using our own button, we are just writing one button here. Remember, to inject this design, we are just creating one button, and in the button we will just also put that this will be the type going to be a button, and also we will put an on click event. So whenever we're gonna click on the button, what actually we're gonna do, we will just router dot back. We just take that things to be going back. And now for the area label, we are going to get that go back to articles. Okay, so that's the parameter we are having that. Now after that, one more thing is going to be so now what we will do is to get our articles. Okay, so if the button is available, the button will be there. So now we need to get that article. So we will take also one article tag, and here I'm gonna get the header. So inside the header, we're gonna inject that h1 tag, which is going to be article dot title. Okay, and then we're gonna also get that time, and that time it also going to be taking that several positioning things. So first thing first, we're gonna give the date time on that. Okay, so the date time, it's going to be article dot date. Okay, so now first thing first, let's go back to the top layer of the header. We will just write something on that. In the header, it's gonna be flex, and flex it will be in the column. And for the h1 tag, for some class name empty, it will be 6 at the margin top, and the text going to be 4 pixel, and also font going to be bold, and tracking should be tight. Okay, and then sm text going to be a 5 pixel. Okay, the 5 pixel, and then text going to be black, dark, the text going to be zinc of 100. Okay, so that is going to be available for the text. And now in the time, we will just inject the time. So in the span tag, we will take one span tag. Remember, the timing convention here is going to be that, so we will create this one, then this one. Don't worry, right now you cannot see that because we are going to inject the article. So later on you're gonna see how actually the thing is dealing with. So just stay with me, it's just going to be over very soon. So span tag, and here in this span tag, for some class name, height going to be 4, width going to be 0.5, so means the 0.5, half of the 1, rounded full. Okay, so it's not the height, it should be the width. Okay, and rounded full, and bj zinc of 500. Okay, not the 6, it should be 500. And then we're gonna take another span tag, so it will be, let's get that span tag. Now here we need to get the date, and to implement the date we will just make that format date here. So let's go back to the libs. In the lib I will take one more function here, which I'm going to get the formatted date. So it will be format date.ts, and in that date, so it will be export function, or we can just create that arrow function. So export const, it will be format date. Okay, so here we, in that date, it will take a date string as a parameter, which is going to be the string, and now it will return a value which is going to be new date, and then we're gonna pass a backtick, then we're gonna pass that date string which we are going to provide it. After that, now here the timing portion, we will just pass the timing portion, which can be this one. Okay, and then we will just make that to local data string. So whenever we are passing that, that data string going to be en, and of course USA, and then we will, the day should be numeric, and that month should be long, and year should be numeric, and time zone going to be UTC. Okay, so that's our time format available. So now we're gonna pass the type format. So here it will be that format, it will be format date, and then article dot date. Okay, so now we are actually having an article. So now whatever we have, let's see if you can see back there. Okay, we're not seeing that portion is time. I think we made a mistake here. Index.mdx, it should be the page.mdx. I think that's the error which actually we are having to create. Yeah, now you see. So that's a silly mistake we have been done for a long time. So you see, now actually we're getting this flag and we're getting all other things. So okay, it's a runtime error. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove that, and then npm run dev. So for this, actually we are not seeing those all other parameters. So we'll just open that in the localhost 3000, and right now the article should be available. Okay, so let's just give it time to, okay, what actually is happening. Okay, don't worry, we can fix that. Cannot find module. Okay, page.mdx, why? Okay, article ts 2020. Okay, so that's the article we are having here. I think, okay, return article file name. What's the mistake we have been done here, which is going to be article file name. Okay, so file name string. Okay, I think we are cool. Just debug a bit. I think I got the error portion here. I think there is another silly mistake is that we wrap it because it's a independent component, so we should not wrap that in that way. Now as you see, we are having that. So there's a two silly mistake we have been done. It's the difficult things when you're using something new platform like MDX. So one is the silly one, we did it with the index.mdx. Now that's we should not wrap it in the second bracket, it should be in the first parameter because as is as a component. So now we are having our first article, so you can keep as the way you prefer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take both of the article in that here, so I'll just drag and drop here because this will be the similar parameter of the way I created. So if you see here, so that's the like the rewriting and the intro, so that's the similar parameter of article we are going to create. So no need to worry about that, all the same data formation and all the same data structure as you see. So don't worry about it, you can create it the way it's supposed to be. And one is that we are having the same portion and then we are also putting an image. Don't worry, this image also it will be available in the Git repo. So now if we see in here, we will be able to see that we have 3 articles available, okay, right now. So now what I'm gonna do in that page dot on here in our first page, okay, so just let's start back from here. Okay, that's the pages we are working. So on that article portion, we can actually start working with the article. So now I will take I will just wrap through that article. So articles.map. So I will take that article and alongside with the article, I will return a call article formation here. Of course, you can just take another file format and combination, or I'll just create it here just to go in a similar way. So it will be const article. Of course, it will be an arrow function. From here, I will return just a text article. Okay, so that's the thing I'm gonna return from here. And of course, as I have been dealing with that, article. Okay, so in the article we will give the key name, which is going to be article.slag, and then I will pass all the article over in the top. Okay, so now we should be able to see something. Okay, what's wrong with that container? I think we are good to go. Okay, let's just see. Yeah, we're good to go. You see, the 3 article is available. So now in the top layer, we will just go and create those articles just to show where the article should be. So first thing first, we need to define that article parameter, the slag parameter. Okay, so we are getting the article, and that article actually article, and this one as a type of article with slag. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a card and the card title and other things to show how the article going to be look alike. So that's the portion we are that's the portion we are going to create here. So that will be, so to create that, let's just go in here and I will create another component which is actually named as card.tsx ce. Okay, so now we are having a card, and here in the card let's just pass that value. Okay, so card. Okay, and that card, it will be, we're going to use as, okay, article. Okay, so now let's just go start working with that card. Okay, so to get that card things done, so okay, that's the card. And now So there should be several kind of things: the card title, card link, and card data, card description. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just wrap the previous thing and I'm gonna just provide it here for you. So now what actually you need to just go through that one and each and one component over here. That's the icon also I created for you, so you can use that icon, SVG icon. And now this is the actual card, okay, which actually assigning for a div and then is passing the parameter of a string. Then we are passing the style which going to be ramped through it, and then also the card.link, we are passing that card link which is going to adjacent here with the card, and then we are passing the card title which also getting the function as the card title, and there is the description for the card description and also for the card CTA, and then the card eyebrow. So it's the simple parameter of function, and then we are joining everything with a simple component. So feel free to go and just explore each and everything. So right now what I'm gonna do, because if I'm going to explain it, the video is gonna be a longer and much more longer than you will not feel attention to see all. And don't worry about that, because the code, it will be provided for you and you can just go through it. So now I'm gonna pass that card.title, and inside that card.title it's going to be article.title, and after that we will also put that href on that, so we can actually pass that article to go in some sort of places. So it should be articles / and remember we have that article.slack, so it will just take us to the article.slack. And if we go back here, okay, we should be coming to see something card.title. Okay, cannot read the title. Okay, what's wrong with that? Okay, where actually the error is coming. Okay, instead of that we're gonna wrap that card, because remember we are not exporting default anything, we're just exporting card from there. Okay, so okay, that's good. So, as the similar of this portion. So now we have the card title, and then we also going to pass that card.eyebrow, and inside that eyebrow it will be that okay, let's pass that formatted date, and inside that formatted dates we're gonna pass that not the article page, article.date, and okay, article.date. So we are getting the date here, and remember those, if you just go back to the article eyebrow, see the design we are passing from here. So that's the design actually we are getting from there. So that's the article.eyebrow, and that hover effect and all the things you can find in the card. If you just go back here, you see, and in the return value also you see all the things is available here. So don't worry, you can pause the video, go to one line by line, or you can just clone the repo and then go through it. Okay, so now we have eyebrow, then we need to get that card description. So it will be card.description, which going to be article.description, and one last line going to be card.cta, which is going to be read article. Okay, so that's the article. So now you see everything is available. If I click, it should redirect me to the pages, and of course don't worry, it's not supported or some other parameters, but you see it's just taking there, right? If I go back, okay, if I roll back there in my localhost 3000, and if we go back there, you see rewriting the Cosmos kernel. So things is there, but one more things is we need to pass that is that in the page.mdx is that not in mdx, but in that article layout, which is going to be the pros. So actually that will be available, that will be responsible to show our article actually how actually we want to see that. So to do that one, pros.tsx. Okay, so now here we will make just we're gonna simply wrap the things. So it will be export, we will just make a function name pros, and then we're gonna define that parameter here, of course. Okay, So the parameter, it going to be take the class name as a props and also props. Now let's define the classification, or what actually we're gonna do, we're gonna just pass it as react components props with without ref. Okay, without ref, and here we're gonna pass that it as a div. Okay, so you're cool. Now what actually we're gonna adjoin here, we're gonna just return, and we're gonna return a div, and in the div we're gonna pass that, what do you call that, all the props. I think so it's going to be working. So it's returning. Okay, offset, just redoing that one. Okay, that will pass a return which going to be a div, and okay, I will use the self-closing div. That will be a good things. Okay, so now here I'm gonna spread all the props we are passing, and also put a class name which I'm going to pass that CLSX from the CLSX. Now here I'm gonna pass the class name, and after the class name also I'm gonna define the class name of pros, and the dark it should be pros, PROSE, pros, it should be invert. Okay, pros invert. I think, okay, that's the things it should be there. So now in that article layout, after the header we need to pass that pros, and here we will pass everything as the children. Okay, so put some class name is going to be empty of margin top of 8, and also data going to be mdx content. Okay, did I import that one? Okay, let's import first from the pros. Okay, so now we imported that, and as you see data is storing and it's start working on that. So let's go back here, and of course there will be some mismatches, so don't worry about it. We're gonna fix, what is that, unsupported server component type. We're gonna fix that one because I just I think I just bring that one directly. So now if we roll back to other, this one, yeah, that one is working. So okay, we just need to design a bit over here. Remember, you see the writing is actually happening, but we need to design a bit. Okay, we'll do it. And that can be done with that because we didn't create a design here. So let's just put that class name here in Excel devices. I will make it as relative. Okay, and also for that particular div I need to design which going to be mx should be auto, and max width going to be 2 pixel. Okay, that's the design I need to create, which, okay, now you see, now it looks cool. So that things we're just gonna sorting it out. And the title is not showing in white. I think we maybe mismatch. Yeah, it should be text should be zinc of 100. Yeah, that's why it's actually not showing the title, you see. Okay, now it looks good. Okay, so what else we can do? We have the div, and we have one parameter of div here which actually we have been working. We have our pattern button here, we pass the article and flex call, and okay, okay, so what actually we can do is to design a bit here. So you see the h1 tag, so here we can actually give a padding y of 4 or 5 to just squash a bit, or we'll just keep that in that way. So now what actually dealing with that, our button here is not giving us, it should go on that particular paradigm which actually is not getting. Okay, let's just okay, it should be arrow left icon. So I will just, instead of using that one, I will use an SVG here. So this will be my arrow left icon. Yeah, because style is providing in SVG, so it's not okay. You see, now it looks good. Okay, let's go to the home and let's go back again. Okay, this should be appearing in the front of it. If we go back here, should be appearing there. I don't know, maybe we are missing something. Okay, so what actually we are missing around is also we need to pass the date, which we missed this style. You see, there's the article.time only available. So let's put the class name, which going to be, it will be in the first order. Flex item should be center, text going to be base, and text going to be zinc of 500. Okay, let's save that, and it should be okay. It's in the top. So now this I think this the portion actually we can work on that. So what if I will just make it okay, let's just make that as absolute. Let's see where actually is going. Okay, it's not moving, so okay, let's just create something dynamically. This should be appearing here, but it's actually appearing on the top. It's not going there. Or instead of keeping it here, we can do one more thing, is that now it's a silly of a design thing, so I don't want to waste a bit of time on that. So what actually we can do is keeping here, so we can actually pass that with the article, with the date parameters. So we can take the time, we can keep a div here, we can pass the time. Okay, okay, the time is available. So now what we will do is that, okay, that's also not okay, that in the bottom. So now if we keep that, okay, it not looks so good, but not so bad also. Okay, I will just keep in a previous format. Okay, time is available here. So instead of giving that here, this small button giving a lot of headache. Okay, so also I will put that not in absolute, but MB of 4 margin bottom. Is it working? No, it just gone. Okay, it's already there. MB of 8 is there, so let's put 12. Okay, margin bottom 2. Anyhow, what I'm gonna do, because I think it's working fine. Yeah, it's just taking me there. Okay, if working nicely, yeah, it's working, inclining nicely. So if we go back here, okay, perfect. I think the issue is happening here because we use the container. So let's just put some class name. Let's see if it's the video of red. I think give us 600 to see actually what that container is actually containing. So okay, that's the issue. So if we just make the width of full, let's see. Okay, now we're good to go. It's because in the container is taking the parent weight. That's why it's not actually giving the things we are looking for. So right now in the header, I'll remove that the portion from here just to put the time element. Okay, now we're good to go. Okay, so that's perfect. Now here, what we can do a lot of things. First, let's just think about what actually we are looking for. So we okay, yeah, okay, now that's going to be one of the easiest way to, I think this span also need to put something, margin length of 3. Okay, now we are actually in a perfect shape. If we go to the other, so okay, that looks cool. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. So now there is one thing we need to implement, is that article page, particular page. So here we need to bring all the articles. And what actually the article it would be, you see that article layout here, it gonna be generated in that scenario. And to implement that, remember we have one page actually for the article page, is deriving it from here. So this is the pages. Now here we need to implement those things. So in the article we're gonna wrap things out. First we're gonna create a simple layout for it. So let's take a new file, should be sample layout or simple layout, simple layout.tsx rafce. Okay, so now in that simple layout, what actually we gonna pass that is a container. Okay, so it will be container, don't forget to import that one. So now in the container we will pass several things. First it will be the header, and inside the header it's going to be the h1, which is going to be the title. First remember what actually we're gonna passing it here. We're gonna pass, one is that title, one is intro, and one is children. And here also the title should be the string, and then the intro also it will be string, and then the children it will be react not. Okay, so now here as we are going to get everything from there, so let's just put some title or put some class name. Max width it going to be 2 pixel. Okay, now in the header that should be the title, of course, title. And after the header we will also pass one p tag which is going to render the intro, and then after the header we will pass that children. Okay, children, if there is the children available, only then the children will render. Okay, so if sometimes there should be just only passing the 2 parameters, no need to pass the children, so that time it's just fine. Okay, so now if it's children available, then we're gonna put also some class name. Margin top going to be 16 and smt going to be 20. Okay, so the header portion is combining with that. So now what I'm gonna do, in that h1 tag put a class name, the text going to be a 4 pixel, and also font going to be bold, and tracking tight, title tight, and text going to be zinc of 800, and sm text going to be 5 pixel, and for the dark, okay, dark text going to be zinc of 100. Okay, so that will be for the p tag, and for for the h1 tag, and for the p tag for the class name, margin top going to be 6, and text going to be base text, means the how many pixel is going to be coming here, I think 14, and no, it's the 16 pixel, yeah, for 1 RAM. And then text going to be zinc of 600, and for the dark text going to be zinc of 400. Okay, so now this is the simple layout which we combining here for our article pages. So now here we're gonna pass that simple layout. Okay, so it will be simple layout. Now here in the simple layout we're gonna pass something. First we're gonna just render a simple div, and now here we're gonna pass the title. So here the title and this intro, I'm just gonna bring it here. So that is going to be the title, going to be writing on software design, and the intro, so that's the one. I think that's the similar in cases over here. Okay, right now it's going to be okay. So instead of combining that with that container, I will just keep a div here, because this or I can do one thing, we can put a class name, I can pass that with a full. Okay, that time it's gonna render. Okay, so it's gonna take the full width from the parent. Okay, so it's looking better. Now in that div I'm gonna take one more div, and here I'm gonna pass the article. First I need to get the article. Let's go the pages here. I'm gonna remove that console from here. Okay, so now in that page it will be the same thing. Remember, I take the article from here and it will be the same parameter, but instead of slicing I will take all the article. Okay, so of course it will, or I don't need that functional parameter here, because it's just a simple one thing, and await should be the article, and as it's a await should be the asynchronous function. So now here I will generate my article. So it will be article, yeah, articles Okay, I think, okay, it's articles, yeah. So dot, it will be dot map. What's wrong with this portion here? Okay, so I can inject the article here right now. So this is my article. I can put a let, or you can put a const, depends on you. Okay, so now here articles.map, and I will just pass that article as the parameter, and here I'm gonna return that article. So remember, we are already providing one article here, but we will change the design parameter here. Remember, that's the design going to be similar on that. And to eradicate that one, instead of getting this thing, I will create another function here, which is going to give us me one more article. So it will be const article, of course. First, I'm going to return that a p tag. It will be just giving that article. Okay, so that will be my article. And here the key, I'm going to provide that article dot slag, and also I'm going to pass that article as the article. Okay, so now if we see here, we're gonna see 3 article. You see the 3 is available. So now we're gonna combining it here. How we can do that? We're gonna pass that article, and that article going to be the article, and the types, it should be the article with slag. And now here, instead of p tag, we will render so many things. First thing first, we're gonna get that article down. So we're gonna pass that article tag. Oops, it will be article tag. Oh, I am not putting the tag. Article tag. What's wrong with there? Article tag. Okay, so now I'm gonna get the card. You remember the card, so that's the card, it will be available. I'm gonna pass that article dot title. Okay, so there should be title approaching. You see the title. So now in the article, let's put some class name. MD, it should be greet, and MD should be greet calls of 2 or 2 or 4, yeah, full greet. And MD items, items should be baseline. Okay, so before going further with that, I also want to put some class name here. Put a class name. MD border should be in left side, border L, and MD border zinc of 100. Okay, and MD padding left of put 16, or sorry 6, and MD whenever it gonna hit the dark screen, and then the border going to be zinc of 700 with 40% of the opacity. Note the access, it should be directly injecting here. Okay, so it should appearing here, don't worry, we will give it that. So the class name flex max width, it will be 3 axle. Okay, max width 3 axle, and what else it can be? Flex column, and space y should be 116. Okay, so we got the space y, but we didn't get this portion here. So what's wrong with that? Not mg, should be md. Yeah, you see. Okay, this lines is available, looks perfect. Okay, so now we're having the card, and after the card, what we need to do is to, okay, just put the card, giving some class name on that, should be md call span should be 3. Okay, so this would be alongside with the card. And I think I made one more mistake, which is that it should not be here. It should be, remember, we created that card title. Yeah, it should be card dot title. Yeah, inside that card dot title, we're gonna inject that. Yeah, okay, and also we need to pass an href here. So the href should be inclining with that backtick, so it should be articles, then it should be that article dot slag. Okay, one is done. Now we need to pass that card eyebrow. eyebrow, and inside that eyebrow we're gonna pass that. Remember, we created one function to show the format date, and here it should be article dot date. Okay, cool. See that? Okay, let's go back. You see the date is available, but it should be appearing in that way. And to let it work in that way, what we can do is that put that as it should be the time. Okay, as time, and that time should be article, not the art, should be article dot date. Yeah, okay. Class name md should be hidden, and also decorate. Okay, cool. Yeah, where is it gone? Okay, md hidden, and also it's going to be decorate. Yeah, okay, let's see, we will find it later on. Now what we actually going to see, that is card dot description. Yeah, description, it's going to give us that article dot description. Okay, you see the description is available right now, and after the description we also need to put a card dot, I think the it will be cta. Yeah, cta, which is going to be read article. Okay, yeah, that looks good, but it's not looks good the way it's supposed to be, so we need to sort certain things up. Let's see what's happening with our article, like in the eyebrow for showing the time, why it's just disappear from here. Okay, md call is span 3, md grid calls 4, md items baseline. So far so good, we are doing the right things. Okay, we will not see that because in md we are hidden, like make it hidden, because as you see now it's available in the smaller screen. So there will be another time we need to prepare for that, so that time will be seen whenever it's in LG screen. And to give that time, what we can do is that below that card layer we're gonna take another card dot it will be card dot eyebrow, and here we're gonna inject the same sort of things. Okay, so the same setup going to be applied here. Now as you see, this already appearing here, but of course also we need to pass that one as the value parameters which we are giving before. So as it will be the time, and that time it's going to be article dot date time, article dot date, and for the class name, and it will be margin top of 1, and by default it's gonna be hidden. md it's going to show us as block, block, block. Yeah, so right now if you are willing to see, okay, that's perfect, looks great, and you see the article and everything is available perfectly. Okay, so now what else is available for us? You see the projects. Now these projects are variable. What actually we can do, we can create the way you want, or I want some, or okay, we will create those parameters also. So what we will do, we will close all other things. Now in that app, okay, we will take another folder where actually it's going to be projects, and here in the projects, don't make it as index, it should be page.tsx rfce, and we're gonna give a name of project page. You can feel free if you want to give a name, if you don't want to give a name, doesn't matter. So now you see we have a simple layout, so we can actually use that one here. Now in that layout we can pass the value for that, which going to carry on the title. Okay, carry on the title, and we're gonna pass also a p tag, which going to be it should be the projects, right? Projects. Okay, so if we go back to our projects, you see we're having the projects. So now we need to get those projects available for us. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just simply click one projects array. So that will be my projects array. Remember, we're having the project's image, name, and other things. So that's the things also I'm giving a similar way, and of course also I'll get the logo. Now here you can put your own icon and your own things, and also you can go through the parameters you want to implement. For right now, I think the simple things will save my purpose. You can also put that any of the params where actually you feel better. So now before that, I will also going to pass the metadata, so it will be in the top layer. Okay, that should be my metadata. Okay, so now okay, where is not, because I think I need to import that. Yeah, so we need to import the type. So import type metadata from next. Oops, it should be out of that. Okay, just give it a time to consume that. Okay, so that's good. Now I have the projects. Okay, so I can map through the like create a mapping through the projects. So to do that, instead of that p tag, I will generate one ul, an order list item. Then I will go through my projects array and I will just map with that. I will take a single project for every project. And here, remember, we have a cart. Okay, import the cart, and in the cart we will use it as a li list item, and also the key should be the project.name. That will be our key. And in here, what I'm gonna do is that just put a div. Inside the div, I'm gonna take an image which I'm gonna import from the next image, and in the source it will go that project.logo, and alt should be logo, and the class name height going to be 8, width going to be 8. Again, the similar pattern, it should not be optimized, it will be unoptimized. Okay, so if we go back to my project, you see I have 5 projects available. You see there is also 5. Now what I'm gonna do in that unordered list, I'm gonna pass a role for that, which going to be the list, and let's pass the class name going to be the greet, and greet calls by default it gonna be greet calls of 1, and whenever it and also we're gonna give an x-axis which going to be 12, and the gap in y-axis going to be it will be gap in y going to be 16, and in small devices it will be greet calls of 2. By default it's gonna be 1, right? And LG devices greet calls of 3. Okay, so the greet pattern, it will work. You see, that's fantastic. Okay, so now in the div pattern we actually need to do some work. So remember, these kind of things we did it beforehand once we create our like the resume, so I don't want to do that things again and again. So that's the simple way, because this the things and that's the things is the same here. Okay, same parameter. Okay, so that's our projects. So now in our projects we have the image. Now after the div we're gonna generate one h2 tag, and here we're gonna pass that cart.link. Okay, so in the link it should be okay, it should be project dot link dot href. Okay, so that's the link. Now href should be also project dot link dot href, and for I think that's it. And also for the h1 tag, put some class name, margin top going to be 6, text going to be base, font going to be semi bold, and the text going to be zinc of 800, and for the dark text going to be zinc of 100. Okay, you see, that's cool. If we go back here, okay, that's not so cool. It should not be in that way, so don't worry, we're gonna do that. Okay, so now we have the project.link, and now we also need one more things, which going to be that description on that. Okay, planetary. Okay, yeah, we didn't give that icon. Anyway, we will give that. So now it is h2. Now it's going to be card.description. here it's going to be project.description. Okay, the description, it would be similar the way it's actually placed to be. And after that, we're gonna take a p tag, and in the p tag, what actually you're gonna see, we're gonna pass a link icon. Remember, now here you can get the link icon from that React icons, or I'm gonna just pass an svg for that link icon, depends on you. Or if you want to find that, feel free to go with that React icons. Then also you can find one link icon if you just click on the link. Okay, so we are looking this kind of icons. So yeah, that's not a sharp edge, just a lower level of edges. Now I think, yeah, this will save the purpose. Okay, we'll just take it from there, and let's just import it and the top layer. Okay, so it's a go link icon, and in the p tag on the span parameter we can use that, or we will just use it here, go link, and put a class name. The text going to be Excel, and flex should be none, flex none. Okay, you see, icon is available. Or instead of Excel, we can just put it as LG, little bit smaller, LG. Okay, so now in the p tag, let's just put some class name relative, and z going to be 10 of that, margin top going to be 6, and flex text going to be SM, font going to be medium, text going to be zinc of 400, transition would be there, and whenever we're gonna group on hover, it could be text going to be till of 500. Okay, not 50 but 500, and the dark, the text going to be zinc of 100. Okay, okay, that should go down. Okay, just give me a second. So yeah, we need to pass the label. So let's take another span. Here we're gonna pass that project dot link dot label. Okay, so the label should be implement here, put some class name, margin left going to be 2. Okay, that looks so cool. Or we can also put that width of 6, height of 6, to, yeah, to manipulate the areas we have. Okay, actually we no need to do that, or we can also do that flex. We made the flex, right? Flex, so we can make that item center, to just put it in the center. So right now we have planetary. Okay, I think we misspaced that, so it should be the logo, the project.name, href, it should be project.name, not that link. That's why it's happening. Okay, name. Okay, so right now, okay, that's fine. So our project is done. So after the project, what we have one more thing, is that is speaking, where actually we are synthesizing all the other things, and that's the simple things. Also we can wrap it up, and how actually we can wrap. Let's go back to the directory here. In that app, we will take another folder which will be speaking, and in the speaking we will take another new file which going to be page.tsx rfce. That would be is speaking page. So now if we just click on the speaking, it should be taking us on that particular page. And by the way, if we just roll back of that, you see it's all responsive, and it's proper responsive. Okay, so, and also if you roll back, you see that's working simply fine. Okay, so now in the speaking we need to also create those parameters. So first thing first, we will make that simple layout here, and in the simple layout I will just pass a div. So here it will be speaking, and in that particular simple layout I will pass the title and also the subtitle. Okay, so title is done, and subtitle, and what's wrong? Okay, I think Just give me a second. I think I didn't copy it properly, so I missed some portion. Okay, so that's the speaking. Okay, now you see that things is coming here. Now we need to create those portions, and to create that, remember we are having a div. Okay, so that's the speaking portion here. We are having div here. So instead of that speaking, I will create a speaking section. Okay, so in the speaking section we will pass the appearance. So there would be a two function, so both going to be implemented here in the top level. So first thing first, I will get one of what you call that, get one function, which is one is for the speaking section and one is for that appearance. So if you want to get that, I will just simply wrap it here in the top level, as you see. So that could be here, or I can just go through to create it from the scratch. First, what actually we will do is that in the speaking parameter, so that's our div, I will make that speaking section. Okay, and to get the speaking section, let's go in the top layer. We will create here const speaking. It should be the section, and again the arrow function, and here we're gonna just return a div right now. Okay, not the div, it should be return div section. So now what actually we're gonna do in the section, we're gonna take some parameter which is going to be children and also going to be the props. Now to define that, it should be that react.component without ref. Okay, it would be without ref, and then it will give that type of the typo. It should be the type of section. The type of section. So we need to create the section beforehand, otherwise we cannot pass the type of. Okay, so just keep it that we will create the section in a way. So to implement the section, I will take a new file which I'm going to keep it the section.tsx rafce. Here we're gonna create the section. So what a section can be look like in the section, first thing first, we're gonna take two parameters, the title and children. So the title of course should be string, and the children, it should be react.react_node. Okay, so these two things we're gonna pass, and also we're gonna take the ID, and to get the ID we will just use that const ID. We will make that use ID from React hook. Now here, instead of the div, we're gonna put a section. Now inside the section, we're gonna wrap it of that another div, and then one h2, and after that another div. So in the second div, we're gonna pass that children, and in the lower level of the h2 tag, we're gonna pass that title. Okay, and also in the section here, you see, so here we're gonna area, I think it will be area labeled by, it should be labeled by the ID, which ID we're gonna providing, and the class name, and it should be MD, border should be in left side, and MD border going to be zinc of 100. Now what actually we are doing, we are creating those portions. Okay, those are the things we are creating right now. Okay, so after passing those value, zinc of 100, what we can do, MD padding left of 6, and then MD dark border going to be zinc of 700, and of course 40% of the opacity. So now what I'm gonna do, because it's just gonna be randomized of the class name, that will be my div, and also for the h2, let's just go through that h2. I will just give an ID with that ID which we are having, put some class name, which going to be text going to be SM, font it will be semi bold, and the text going to be zinc of 800, and dark text going to be okay, text going to be zinc of 100. Okay, and for the children, what it could be, class name md call span going to be 3. Okay, so that is the section we are going to provide here. So if we come back here, instead of the div, we will just pass that section. Okay, so now in that section we will pass everything, the props we are actually encompassing. So now after passing the props, we will also pass a div which going to inject all the children within it. And don't worry about that, we are also we are also putting a class name on that, which gonna be space at y, vertical space, vertical y space going to be how much we can give, 16. Yeah, 16. So now we can actually get the speaking section, and this section is going to be roll back these portions, you see these two things. So now to in the div, also let's put some class name on the div. It should be space y, it should be 20, and inside here we're gonna pass that speaking section. Yeah, speaking section, and inside the section we're gonna inject that title. So first title, it should be conferences. Okay, it will just be a text of conferences, should be string of that. Okay, string of that. What I missed, okay, little bit of things. Now also I'm gonna just a p tag hello, just to see how it looks. Okay, you see the conference, that hello. So these things and these things. So to implement these, I'm gonna create another component which I'm just gonna make a title or something, or just const details card. So it's going to give us the details view on over there. So it's gonna be return a div maybe. Yeah. Now in the details card, remember what actually how the way we are doing that. So I will just take the params on that. So that would be the parameter. Okay, just give me a sec. So in the details parameter, we will take the title, description, event, CTA, and href, and then we're gonna generate everything here. So what actually we're gonna generate? We're gonna generate the card. Okay, so the cards, inside the card, it's gonna take that card dot title, and it should be the title, and also in the card we're gonna use as article, and for the card title it should be the card title, and it's going to be as h3. And after the card title we will make that two more things, which is the eyebrow, description, and other portion. So it's a very important things. You go through that card and read, just try to read everything and go with each and every parameters, because it's very important. We are using that card almost everywhere. Okay, I can explain, but sometimes you need to get things done by yourself. So feel free to go and read properly, and when I'm scrolling, just make it a very slow-mo and go one by one, line by line. You will understand perfectly. So now we are having that our card. So now we can use that. What actually sorry, we need to also pass the href here. So that title should be generating an href. So that ref, it's going to be the href which gonna come back here. So now we can use the details card here. Okay, so the details card is gonna be implemented. So what I'm gonna do, instead of that, we're gonna pass that details card. Now in the details card, remember we can pass all the parameter. We can pass the title, href, and other things. You see? Okay. Now if you go back here, as you see, wow, that things is coming here. So now that is depends on you how many you want to put. So right now I will just put 2 on that. I will just change some of the parameters on the text of value so that it can come. Okay, href is coming twice. Okay, no need. So now that's one speaking parameter. So after that I can also inject another one. So I will just copy that and paste it here. So instead of conferences, I will use that as postcards. As you see, the postcards is available. So now what I can do is that just change the value of those portion. So that's for 1 and that's for second, and also I will take one more to just combine with the original, and that would be the third. Okay, so now as you see, wow, fantastic. So that thing is done. So right now what we need to implement is that uses portion. You see the similar pattern, the similar things. I think that can be reflect more on that. So in the uses pages, I think that's the fantastically the similar pattern of the tool and other things. So what actually we can do, we can create yeah, so that's the portion you will create. And to implement that, I will close all other parameters and I will open a new folder in the app directory, which going to be named as the uses. And here in that folder, combine a page.tsx rafce, which going to be uses page. Okay, so that will be our uses page. Okay, that's coming here right now. So what actually we're gonna have in the uses page? Remember, instead of dragging those things, I'm gonna just put a simple layout and a p tag, which going to give us the uses page. And in that layout, I will pass the title and other properties to make it looks perfect. Okay, now this will be our uses space. So now in the uses space, after having those portion, you see in the below level, I will take a div, and inside the div we're gonna make a tool section. Okay, so that tool section, what it gonna be work, see, that's the same parameter which we have been done beforehand. So I will just go and click on that. So that would be a tool section, which going to be a section parameter. So let's go in the top label const, it will be tools section, of course the arrow function, and we're gonna return a section. Remember, we have created a section, and in the ul we're gonna pass that all the children property, children. So now on the children, what actually it's going to be append. So let's just drag the types here. Okay, okay, I think, yeah, oops. Okay, what I did. Okay, so now in the tool section, it's going to be take two parameter. One it will be children, and another it will be all the props. So that's the two parameter we are going to passing through that. So both are it going to be react and react props without I think react props, it should be react, not the components, sorry, the components without ref, yeah, not the props, components without ref, and it's gonna be type of, it will be a section. Okay, done. So the type of section, it's gonna be implement here, and in the section we're gonna inject all other things. So it will just take all the props. Okay, so the section will take the props, and in the ul it will take the role, and that role will be as a list, and for the class name it's gonna be space y, it will take as 16. Okay, so now as we have the tool section, we can just come over here in that div. Also remember, we previously have been done that space y of 20. We will just make that tools section, and in the tool section we're gonna pass the title, which going to be a workstation title. It will be workstation. And now we also can pass another paradigm, which going to be behind taking the tool. So const tool. Okay, now in the tool, what actually we're gonna have three things. One is the title, one is the href, and one is the children. So now in the return value, actually we are just going to pass those few parameters, which is going to come with the title. Okay, so now this we're gonna pass on the tool parameter. So in the section and on the tool, so first tool parameter, in the first parameter view of tool, I need to get those kind of things. So all tools are combining here with a description over here. So that description going to be passing with the title. Okay, so that's the title, that's the children, that's it. So that's the title, that's the children. And now also we can take several work tool station. So I will just go to bring those previously appending. So that's my first tool section, and now we can just roll back here. Okay, so you can depends on you, you can change the text and other things. As you see, our section is done. So article okay, project work is speaking okay. Now it's time to create the about page. So that's the balance only. So in the about page, it will be just as simple as it is. Remember, in the about, I think here in the about, okay, yeah, we created in a very logical way. It's a very simple parameter coming with the link and other things. So first thing first, let's go here. We will create one more folder, which it will be about, and in the about we will create a page.tsx or fce, and it will be our about page. Okay, now in the about page, what actually we're gonna provide? So oops, it will not be the pages but the page. So we will get with that not that one, container. So you want here, yeah, container. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, about page is here. So now in the container we're gonna put some class name here, which going to be empty of 16 and sm empty of 32. Okay, now after that we need to get bring back one of the image here, so which going to be that our portrait image. You will find it in the image on the portrait. If we go back to the image, you see okay, I think I don't have that image, so I need to bring that image. Why I don't have that? What's the image we use? Yeah, that's the image we use. So where is the image? Okay, just give me a sec. Actually I have that image. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, portrait.image. I think I opened some log somewhere, and that log can be in the articles maybe. Yeah, so let me just, did I make any console here? No, or actually I'm seeing, oh okay, it's previous log. Okay, it's no log there. Okay, so here in the about section, so we now can create the other parameter. So this is the container we are happen to give, and now here we're gonna take a div. Inside a div we're gonna take another div, then another, and then I'm gonna pass one image here. So that will be my image, and in that image pass a source, which going to be the portrait image, and else it should be image, and also we're gonna pass the size and also the class name to make it looks better. Okay, so that's the things. If you go back, you see, yeah, image is available. So now what I'm gonna do, in the top layer of the div, I'm gonna pass some class name, and don't worry, this all are simple class names, so you can feel free to go one by one, otherwise my video is going to be a furthermore rollback. So this will be the first, and also if I just come back here, put a class name, and that LG, it should be padding left of 20, and then also in that class name in the div, max width it should be XS, and PX going to be 2.5, and LG max width none. Okay, so now as you see, our image is coming in shaped, but now we need to inject those text over there. So this is our div. So first, second and third div. So this the second div. So after that second, in the value level, we need to inject the other things. So that will be the div, and then the h1 we're gonna pass some lorem text. Lorem pass the 30 text. Okay, so lorem 30. Okay, you see the text available. So now here we're gonna pass some class name. LG should be order, that should be the first. Okay, LG row span going to be 2, so it will be coming in the top layer here, you see. Okay, now that h1 tag, put a class name, text going to be vercel, and again simple class names. So what I'm gonna do is that just going through those class names. Okay, you see it's a lot of big. I should not want to be implement that one as too much high. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just yeah, I'm gonna just pass until here. Okay, okay, right now after that, that's the simple text parameter I'm gonna passing through. So I will just bring back those text. So this will be the h1, that will be the p tag, is that's the text you are looking for. So if we just going to save what it means here, did we miss something? Okay, I think I misplaced something. So yeah, I misplaced something because it's also going to be come up with a div. Yeah, the p tag is going to be implemented inside a div, which I actually rejected. Okay, now these are the p tag. So this is the div. Within div I have those p tag. If we just go back here, you can see simply the text is appearing. So now I can have those, some of the things is the social link parameter, and this one I'm gonna keep it in your hand. This is your type of the homework you can do. This social parameter and this other things need to be implemented. Feel free to give it a try and see how you can done. And of course I'm gonna share the live link so you can see and then you can do it. And if you did that, hit me in the comments. I'm gonna see after you deploy and then see who's gonna do the exact same which is appending here. Okay, so feel free to implement that, and I hope so many people can do that too. So now what actually I will do, now our things is ready, right? So almost everything is ready. Let's go back to our application. You see, if we go back to the articles, we can go back, we can click, articles is done, everything looks so proper and perfect. So what we need to do is that to push that. So what I'm gonna do, I change a lot of things. So I will just change in one portion. So let's move that git add dot. I'm again going to, or I can make one more thing. So git branch should be part 2, and then git checkout part 2. Okay, okay, what's wrong with that? Oh, git branch should be part 2, and then git I will just check out on my part 2 branch, and then okay, I'm now in the part 2 branch. So I will put that git add dot, I will add every single thing, and then git commit, pass a message. Or because I am in the part 2, it should not append here, it will not work like that. So I will just make that checkout part 1, because beforehand I should make these things done. So I will just make that git add dot, I will use from the part 1. So git commit part 2 done. Okay, and then I will just make that git push. So I will just inject it from that git push. So git push u origin part 1. Okay, so I'm just going to push that in the part 1. So now I have that. So if I go to my git repo, so let's roll back there, github.com, and if you're liking those videos, don't forget to like and share whenever you feel better, and also start my repo if you're working with that. If you see the tailwind YT, you see that's the repo I'm using, and now I'm in the main. If you go to part 1, it will be available, all the things it should be available. So now okay, I will just take the pull request. Okay, able to merge, create the pull request. Okay, yeah, so I think everything's going to be okay on that. Okay, confirm merge. Now what actually I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get to the vercel.com in my dashboard. Here I'm gonna take a new project because now we're going to deploy that one. So in that new project we're gonna clone that one, which is the tailwind YT. Okay, so now in that positioning here it should be okay. That's the main. Okay, edit. Of course it's gonna go with the source. Okay, yeah, let's see actually how it's going to be come up with that. Okay, so yeah, let's roll back here in that tailwind YT. I just want to see if I have everything in my main. Okay, that's the main and that's the source, that's the app. Okay, yeah, I have everything in my main. Okay, now it's started building. So let's see if everything working fine. It should be deployed properly, and I don't think so that MDX will create any problem or any other issues. Now of course this project is pretty big and I'm going to be a faster pace because I don't want to make much more lengthy, because last part it was more than nearly 2 hours. Now this is should be 2 and 2.5 hours, so combining that it could be go 4 or 5 hours. It will kill the time, so that's why I'm providing you the code so you can read properly. I'm showing you the way how you can do it. That's it. Now if you're having any problem whenever you are implementing, just feel free to knock me and it will be all right. I'm gonna help you throughout all the guideline. Okay, now let's see how much time it's gonna take. Okay, it's okay, deploying outputs. I think you see this statically it's just getting all the rows parameter, you see, because I'm using the MDX, so it's just creating, so it will just store that in the real time like in the server side. So let's go to the continue to dashboard, and from here we will be able, you see, tailwindyt.vercel.app. We're good to go. That is our application. Is on the line. So if we go back to the about, you see article, and you see no loading. It's quick, you see, just quick. Okay, so the projects is speaking, uses, and all other parameters. If we just click back and see the articles, see the speaking, see the about, and see the uses, all the parameters is working properly. So of course that code, it's the link, it will be the repo link, it will be in the description, and the previous video link also it will be in the description. And don't forget to visit my profile from here in the YouTube, in the channel. You see that's the previous one, and if you see in the latest videos it will be available here. So the second part it will be with that, so it will be a very good combined video. And also there is a lot of video about the e-commerce, how you can make the e-commerce portfolio and your own several websites, and how you can connect with the website. So lots of helpful videos available. If you actually is helping you, then don't forget to like the videos and comments and share with that. And I think we can come up, it will always make me a pleasure to create more videos which can help you to find a better job or create a more career, or also to get something valuable in your learning ship. So I think it can really help you to go through on that. It can actually be a specify in your portfolio, and it can be a very good showcase of work. So I think it will be very helpful for you. So we'll see you in the next video.